The day is flying by, but can we just all take a collective wow? There's a lot of stuff going on here, and now we're really going to talk about wow, because every great event needs moments of connection and memory making. The panel you are about to hear from is all about those special moments. Your moderator and my beatbox, Lucas Wilson, head of business development at ASG, has been at the intersection of creativity and technology for, I won't say how many years, but like 30. And his panelists have seen and done it all, and they're willing to share it all. So listen up, and we're going to talk about immersive experiences that wow.
Hello, everybody. Lucas here from ASG. I thought for a minute she was going to actually read my bio, and I was going to be miserably embarrassed. But thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for being here for this great day, and thanks to you guys for making the time and coming up and sharing your hopefully wisdom. So we will get started because we have a lot to talk about. So the first thing I want to do is actually just go down the panel and have you guys introduce yourselves and who you are and what you do. Nick.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks for having me, everybody. Nick Catanella with Sparks, executive producer. Been producing events my entire life, starting when I was very little on our fireplace at home, doing magic shows and comedian shows. Started in live music, up to festivals. Now I've been with Sparks about 7 years, producing large corporate global events.
And CJ, you're next.
Hey everybody, I'm CJ Davis. I'm the CTO for the Famous Group. I've been doing immersive events for my entire career, everything from bringing the first projection mapping system to the NBA for court mapping, doing thousands of real-time streamed fans to the WWE for 104 live TV episodes, done a number of big mixed reality TV stunts and broadcasts for sports. And then what I do a lot of now is lead the team in creating a number of different fan engagement software kind of live tools.
Hi, everyone. My name's Conor McGill. I'm with Pixera. I started on the visual merchandising team at Apple Retail and then worked for an integrator that was actually a furniture design company in disguise. So we did a lot of cool custom architectural fixtures that had technology embedded in them. And from there, I worked for a content company in Montreal that did big kind of spectacular visual experiences for live events and permanent installation, and now work for Pixera, which is a manufacturer of a media server, which is the kind of hosting platform for content and for visuals for these big immersive experiences. So I've kind of been on all sides of it and really excited to share and listen to the perspectives here today.
Hey everyone, my name's Kelly Campbell. I am from Maryland originally, but been in Vegas for about 12 years. At that time, I've been with Live Nation Entertainment, so heavily in live events, private events, all kinds. And I've been with Area 15 for about 2.5 years. We're an immersive destination in Las Vegas and Complex, and there I oversee the private events division, the programming division, which is live events that are not entertainment focused, and also the entertainment division, which is our public concerts.
Well, thanks, everybody. And Kelly, you have the mic, so I'll stick with you for a minute. I think that in the world of immersive entertainment, that means so much, and it covers so much. So for you and for Area 15, what does immersive entertainment mean?
Immersive is almost becoming kind of a cliche word at this point. So what does that mean to us? It really means experiential. So we want you to be engaged from the moment you step foot on campus or walk in our doors. And really that's invoking an emotion in you, from our lighting and design in the space, UV heavy, to projection mappings right away. And of course then experiencing an activity like golf, axe throwing, an Omega Mart experience by Meow Wolf, or another projection map room, VR, whatnot. So really for us, it's getting you to be not just a participant and, not a spectator, but more of a participant in our building.
So immersive for you is really physical presence of somebody being there and being there and moving around and doing things within that space. And I know, CJ, you guys do a lot of experiential work as well and immersive work as well. How about you? What does it mean to you? What does immersive mean for your company?
Have definitely done a lot of immersive type of stuff where you're literally immersed in video around you and all that kind of stuff. But I think it also can mean, it's really immersion in these kind of experiences are really just anything that gets you connected to your audience right on the stage. Like, how do you actually get somebody who's out in the audience on the screen? How do you get somebody that's at their house in the event some way? So for us, it's a lot about actually finding those connective points from your mobile device even and the actual producer in the control room.
Fair enough. Conor, you get a turn. What does it mean to you?
Okay, I was musing about this yesterday because I had a good little panelist, and I think a utilitarian definition that helps me is the medium itself is worthy of attention, and that means that the definition of immersive has evolved over time and will continue to evolve. I mean, I remember watching Planet Earth with my family in front of our families, our first 1920 by 1080 HD screen, and that was an extremely immersive experience at the time. Now a flat screen TV is not worth noticing whatsoever. So I think as we try to get people's attention and give them novel experiences, we need to continue to figure out new ways to get their attention and finding new novel ways to deliver these experiences is what's immersive, is kind of getting their attention that way, whether it's through AR glasses or through some kind of light show or something that gets your attention not just because of the content that's being displayed, but the actual medium itself.
Yeah, you mentioned the HD TV. That reminds me of the episode of The Office where there's the TV on the wall and they pull it out and there's
Yeah. Michael Scott's.
Nick, how about you?
It's great.
Yeah, when we approach an immersive experience, first thing we do is ensure that all touch points across the experience are interconnected. So we spend a lot of time reviewing and developing attendee journeys across the entire program. At Sparks, I'm really honored to have an amazing team of talented strategists, designers, producers that really help bring the experience to life as a team. And so when you're looking at a major program across multiple venues or different touch points, everything from the entrance experience with registration needs to tie to the app, which then ties into even a food and beverage experience, and then your session and content experience. Everything just has to feel cohesive across from start A to Z, and that really immerses the audience in that experience, makes them feel like a part of that experience, and never once do they feel like they're stepping outside. So we always provide those visual touch points and interactive touch points that keep them engaged.
That was okay. Thank you very much. No, just kidding. So sticking with you for a minute, Nick, I'll combine a couple of things. So as opposed to doing flat video or as opposed to doing the world that we're sort of all used to, why do clients come to you for immersive entertainment? And I'll let you segue that into talking about a project that you guys have worked on and why it worked for you.
Sure. Yeah, so we, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this, we get a lot of requests from clients, I want a huge video wall. Okay, great. Have you thought about what that content is? Have you thought about the budget that's required to then develop that content? And how does that medium apply into the room that you're executing inside? So there's a few different ways we look at that. As things have progressed with technology and people's just hunger for more technology and content, we start layering in different mediums. So something we've done at an event with CJ, even our Freeman Leadership Conference, you may take a flat LED wall or a curved LED wall and layer in projection mapping elements over top of that. Gives you a lot more control over what the audience sees and what they're experiencing. You're not stuck with one canvas. You then have multiple canvases there. So as the technology has progressed, it's allowed us to do a lot more cool things with it. But I think as a hurdle, again, is just getting people to realize what the work goes into having a simple LED wall, even. That makes sense.
Fair enough. No, that makes sense. I'll jump across stage to you, Kelly. So, why do clients come to you for the full wraparound experience, and why does it work for them?
Yeah, absolutely. So when you're talking to a program like an Adobe or a Yahoo who has 7,000 people and they're looking to have an event that can encompass every kind of interaction possible, make it feel personal, that's why they come to us, because we have all of that in one location in one campus. We have LED walls, we have projection mapping, we have interactive experiences, we have VR, we have the golf, like I said. So they're looking for a one-stop shop that we offer, and the level of production as well. So we have a creative team in-house. So if they want the front of the building to be projection mapped to Adobe standards, we can do that. If they want 3 of our projection map rooms to be completely customized, be able to change every 30 seconds. We had Yahoo come in and ask for a button to be made that tied into our wall, so when you hit it, it went Yahoo. So those are the kinds of things that our clients are looking for, really different experiences, really high touch, and really engaging experiences. We're also then able to expand outside of our main building into our parking lot and create festivals as well. So tying that all together, it's not something you get in a ballroom.
And if you don't mind, what's an example of a client or a job that you're really proud of, and what did you do for them, and why did it work for them?
Actually, I'll slip to the public side. Just this year for New Year's Eve, we had 4,000 publicly ticketed attendees to our New Year's Eve program, which instead of relying on a name entertainment focus, we relied on the experiential party behind it. So it was a masquerade theme, and we had 7 different masquerade ballrooms, if you will, within the property that were for free exploration, open bar, whatnot. And really tapping into a theme and an environment really engaged our guests a lot more, and it was more successful than some of our main headliner shows have been. It's really good. Really proud of that.
CJ, your turn. Why do people come to you guys? And just for the audience, I'm asking them to. My family is Brazilian. There's a phrase in Portuguese called "selling your fish," which is people talking about what they do and selling their fish, right? So I am asking these people to talk about it because they're sort of the leaders in the industry and talking about what they do and how they do it. So I've actively encouraged them to sell themselves and sell their company. So just so you know, that was my idea. So CJ, tell us a little bit about what's something that Famous Group. Why do people come to you, and what's success look like for them?
I guess the reason people come to us is there's a lot of really fun stuff that we do. We do fun stuff. We make people go woo at events, right? Like people get to engage, they get to do something that's on the video board, see themselves, they get to turn themselves into AI. It's any of those kind of touch points that make it interesting and different from an event you've been to before. Also, another big thing for why people come to us and kind of use a lot of our fan engagement tools is it's very sponsorable and very sellable. So people like that.
I noticed that both Kelly and you used "woo." That's a technical term. We'll explain it more as we go further in. What's an example of an experience that you're proud of that really worked for a particular client? Come on, pick one. You. Yes, you.
Oh, an example of a show?
Oh, an example of a job.
Oh, I'd love to get to the slides part where I could show that. We're going to show.
Slide? You have a thing?
Yeah, if we can go to it, if we're at that point.
Hold on. Well, let me let.
It will be out of order, but
I forgot that you had a thing.
I'll tell you, the show's it's Big Adele show, and it was a really great use of just interacting with people in the audience. We'll show you.
So Conor, your turn. You get to tell us why do people come to you? Why is immersive important for your clients, and why do people come to you for it?
Okay, thanks. Yeah, as the complexity of an experience goes up in terms of the amount of audio or video or lighting or interactivity that you want to include, if conventionally the amount of knowledge that goes into having to build it goes up exponentially. What Pixera is here for is to allow you to build really big, complicated shows that have lots of audio, lots of video, lots of lighting, touch points, and large surfaces that may span throughout multiple rooms or buildings, but not have to have a computer science degree to do that, not have to write any custom software, not have to learn a bunch of disparate systems and then integrate them together with APIs or some kind of duct tape-esque workflow where you're firing stuff from a stream deck here but a lighting desk here. So that's really why we built Pixera, was to make it easier to accomplish shows of a much higher order of complexity. As far as why immersive experiences are important for our clients, I think they're effective, and it's what our clients are typically the people we're putting on the shows, and it's what their clients want. Like as you were talking about Adobe and Google, that's what they want to get eyeballs, to go viral, to leave a lasting impression with their customers. So it's the mode of the day, and Pixera is the platform to host these experiences.
Yeah, and I think that that's true for a lot of us. If you're in this industry, if you're here today and you're in this industry, your goal at the end of the day is to generate feedback and generate emotion in your audience. You're trying to communicate a message however you're doing it. And the more senses you engage and the more touch points, both literal and experiential, the more touch points you can engage people in, the better, right? I always draw the analogy to if you're taking a bite of food, but your nose is blocked up and you can't smell from the cold, it's really going to limit your enjoyment of that food. The more senses you engage, the more emotion you generate and the deeper you communicate a message, so to speak. And I apologize to whoever's running the slides. I'm sort of jumping around a little bit. I'm sorry for you guys as well.
I think it's me, actually.
I think it's you. All right. So Nick, do you have something to show?
Yeah, I just have a quick sizzle video. We were lucky to produce the largest fan fest in NBA history last year, called NBA Con, down in Las Vegas. And I love this event. This was a passion project. Obviously, I'm a fan of the NBA. But also not just the live factor of this event, but how it extended globally across social media and other mediums that really made it special to us. So I just want to show a quick clip. Here we go. And as you saw in that, it just, I think of this one as very immersive because there were so many pieces to it, I guess. So as you saw, not only the activations, I had to learn how to build an NBA court to spec and standards, which I'd never done before. That was very interesting. But also an expo portion, a live music stage. So that event really touched on everything, and then brought it all together to be able to package it into a nice social media campaign. So.
There was one part that was a picture where you put your face in something. I saw a kid putting their face in something. What was that?
Yeah, there was a couple different AI activations where they would scan your face and then put you into a music video with as the body of an NBA star or a music star, or a rock star even. So it did scan your face, used your features, and then inputted you into more of like a video game simulation that they output to the consumer.
And you also got to hang with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, arguably one of the coolest people on the planet.
Yes, yeah, Kareem was cool. A lot of talent wrangling in that, a lot of people management as well. So
very cool. Thanks for sharing with us. CJ, okay, now you're up.
I have a picture now. So, like I said, at the Famous Group, we have a suite of fan engagement tools. We call it Vixie, and I'm going to show you just a quick sizzle of what Vixie does.
QR code is up on the screen there. This is a fan cam done differently. You can use your mobile phone to set yourself on the big screen.
Take a selfie, and then you've got a chance to have that selfie thrown up on the board in the stadium.
Oh, I see some good ones so far. And look at the energy.
Fans, we're trying something new this evening. It is AI, of course, AI standing for Artificial Intelligence. We want you to submit photos of yourself and then watch Avalanche AI just transform you.
Yeah. So, next slide. All right, Vixie, there it is. So, hey, if you guys liked any of that fun AI stuff and you thought that was kind of cool, you feel free to try it while I talk. I'm going to leave this QR code up, and you guys can go ahead and immerse yourselves in the magic of AI. It'll be here as we talk about it. But the show that I want to talk about is a great use case for Vixie is the show that we did a few months ago in Munich for Adele. And the story about how this show came together is actually kind of funny because we get a call from Adele's people she went to a Lakers game and she saw the selfie cam. That's the scan the QR code and stream yourself real time to the video board. She saw that and she wants to put in her show. So they say, hey, Famous Group, do you guys want to put, Adele saw your thing. She wants to put selfie cam into her big show in Munich. And we're like, yeah, that sounds cool. And they say, oh, by the way, it's the Guinness Book of World Records largest LED screen ever set up for a temporary event. Like, okay, yeah, we're in. We're in for that. So the fun part about this, too, it gets better, is we send our team out there. They go to get set up, and we're loading in. The load-in's just a couple laptops, just so you guys get the sense of how lightweight this entire system is. And we're setting up, and the producer comes over and says, hey, we don't have any pre-show content. Can you find a way to fill 3.5 hours of walk-in? And we're like, yeah, I think we can figure that out. So it was a really fun kind of challenge. We had to basically just build our entire run of show out of Vixie and all the different engagement tools that we have in there. Everything from photo mosaics, where we're able to just aggregate pictures of people taking selfies. The selfie cam itself, obviously. We did messages where people can send messages to the board, which was a huge thing for Adele. It actually became part of her show every day. She would sit there in her dressing room, and she would go read these messages from fans and actually call out some of those fans as she came out, further immersing them in the experience. So that was really cool. And of course, the other thing that we did for her fans was we made it so everyone could turn themselves into Adele, and that was fun. So that's a big, awesome use case for Vixie. It's great for people to engage. And it doesn't have to be just a big, massive Adele show. This is super lightweight. It fits into all kinds of productions.
Very cool. Thanks for sharing. Does everybody get a chance to scan the QR code? Come on, let me see some phones. Let's do it. All right. Okay. I still see phones up. Okay. And all right, there the phones go down. You can tell who's on an iOS phone because they all went down at exactly the same time. Okay. All right.
You're right, yeah. I'm going to buzz through a project that we did recently because I think it does a good job of showcasing a couple of different types of immersion, and it's a good technical case study for what Pixera is capable of in kind of a corporate video context, which is the theme of the show. So this company, Randstad, is a staffing company in Amsterdam, and they came to us to build an immersive event venue in their headquarters where they could do things like host panel discussions or have keynotes, and also transform into an immersive venue where they could have like cocktail parties or play kind of corporate documentary style video. And then on top of that, they have a camera tracking system with 4 cameras that can achieve what's called set extension, where the imagery on the screen, as you can see there, is this kind of, I guess, hydroponic or urban farm environment. And the camera will actually capture what we call the backplate or the content on the screen, and it will feed the camera source back into another machine which composites the virtual environment on top of the real environment. So you can there immerse a performer or their CEO or whoever into a virtual environment. They're actually standing there in this room, and put them into kind of a cool virtual scene where they can have a virtual meeting or look like they're on the surface of Mars or whatever. So this is the control room, really simple. As I mentioned earlier, we want to be able to achieve these highly complex systems that have projection and LED and tracked cameras and real-time engines like Unreal, but just have it simple, sliders and buttons, and green means go and red means stop. And there's quite a bit of engineering that goes into getting to this point, but now that the client owns the system, they can staff this room with people who are not super duper media server techs. This is something you can train somebody to do in a half hour before the event, who's not a technical person. Yep, so that's the case study, and there's a couple more. Lobbies, virtual production studios, all powered by Pixera. The one in Bristol Myers Squibb lobby is really cool because they took imagery from the oncology research that they're doing, and they ran it through this engine called Notch, and they generated these really cool, stylized video pieces that then recreate themselves every day. So it kind of becomes this content machine. Yeah, so there's a couple, and I'm just going to plug an event. If you're in LA, we're doing an ST2110 event. We're putting a lot of work into it, so I just wanted to let everybody know.
The quickest PowerPoint presentation ever.
Hey, I'm pretty good at quick. I had to do a 1-minute one once. Oh, yeah, you bet. come on by.
Anybody that's in Santa Monica, anybody that's in SoCal wants to go to that, take a quick note, take a picture.
Thanks for the shameless plug.
All right. And Kelly, do you have a thing to show us?
Yes, I have a very energetic sizzle reel that we cut the music from, so it's just a much. We took off the music from our sizzle here, so this is Area 15. This is a sizzle that's about 2 minutes usually that we send out to clients. It helps explains our campus. Has anyone been to Area 15 in Las Vegas? Yes. Awesome, fantastic. So you know about our first 20 acres that are currently built out, shown here. We are currently under development for another 20 right now with Universal and Museum of Ice Cream, Felix and Paul, VR, a couple restaurants, and iFly. So much more coming to our campus. Hope you, next time you're in Vegas in the fall, there'll be so much more to see. But our main building here is 2,000 square feet. We have an Illuminarium tenant on property as well. We have John Wick opening in just a few weeks right outside of, in one of these bunker buildings. We used to have an immersive distillery, which we're now revamping. And we have lots of IP partners like Netflix's Army of the Dead, as I mentioned, John Wick with Lionsgate. And then if anyone's familiar with the Meow Wolf brand, we have Omega Mart inside of Area 15. We were their second physical location. So this is just going to take us through some fun parts of Area 15 and what we do. We were the first U.S. venture to have a liftoff ride out front there that goes 100 feet in the air. Inside, it's heavily UV. We have several different event rooms. We have an outdoor space that's tented half the year. It's about 30,000 square feet. This was a Harry Potter wedding that we did. Really fun. Drone shows out back, of course. Yep.
Drone shows are so cool.
Yeah. Okay. Very obviously customizable, brandable for clients, which is great. Two-story arcade. This is our ride that goes up to the top. We've hosted on the private side everyone from Shaq as a DJ to the Killers I had for Salesforce. That was a surprise moment for the guests. And then we have local bands all the time. On the public side, we had Charlotte DeWitt, if you're into the EDM techno festival side. We also had Avenged Sevenfold. So every kind of genre that you can think of. And yeah, lots of events. About 300 events annually on the private side and about 150 on the public side, and then another 75 to 100 on the programming side a year.
Very cool. Yeah. I'm thinking, I just saw your building, and knowing that you're in Vegas, I'm just thinking about your AC bill, right?
Well, so it's a black box for a reason. No windows. This is great, so a little bit easier. But it's a sleek, speaking of the architecture, it's a sleek design, timeless, so that, you know, as the ever changing environment of Las Vegas, the buildings are always having to refresh themselves and revamp themselves. We can just change the inside, not the outside. So
that's cool.
Go in there, yeah.
You guys are really sort of you're crossing the line between, it's not quite a theme park, but kind of almost there in many ways. It's very cool. So, okay, I've managed to run a tight ship. We have 2.5 minutes left. I want you guys to really quickly go, I'll start with you, Nick, really quickly go and say, if you're going to give somebody advice that's building experiences on what to pay attention to, what technology to pay attention to in the next year, 2 years, what should people be learning? What should they be paying attention to?
I think right now what's been most impressive is the advancement in video control. I know we're at a video summit, so things like MyLumen, you know, is something that amazes me every day. Our ability to stitch together different content assets and layers has gone way beyond the days of just a simple playback or graphic computer and switcher. So the ability to manipulate the assets and the content is going to take things to the next level as that applies to the application of the technology as well. Yeah.
Cool. CJ?
I think keep looking out for ways to include user-generated content into your show, right? The concept of selfie cam is something that's now a staple in the NBA and those type of events. So, and I think you're just going to see more and more of that.
Conor, you're next.
Volumetric content and spatial computing. I mean, AI is the real answer to this question, but that's going to affect everything. But I think there's a lot of investment happening on both the capture side and the representation side. To be able to bring people places where they are not using glasses. I think we all looked at VR and collectively said no, but AR, if the glasses are as sleek as Lucas's and they have like super advanced processing in them, I think people will wear those and they will want cool content on them. in which will be as immersive as it comes.
I'm just going to go ahead and say there's no distinction between VR and AR. VR is just AR with 100% occlusion. Anyway.
Yeah, we all looked at VR with, or AR with 100% occlusion and said no.
Kelly, you're up.
I agree on AR. Actually, we have several micro attractions inside Area 15 that are AR focused. AI as well, incorporating that into events, being able to have you walk by a camera and then have it projection mapped up on a wall, very similar tech there. But still tapping into performers and entertainers. So, with Universal coming on campus, their whole experience is going to be horror. So it's Universal Horror Unleashed for 365 days. So people want to be scared. People want to see bloody people and real life characters. The IP experiences for sure, like the John Wicks, which are moving experiences, kind of like escape room style, or the Meow Wolves of the world, those physical interactions with hidden doors and what's next and what else did I miss and I want to go back and do it again, and I've never seen anything like that before. That's what's up for us.
Thanks very much. And
thanks,
I managed
everyone.
to hit it right on the nail. Thank our panelists, please, for the work they do, and for the awesomeness. Thank you guys for attending, and I don't know what's next, but something cool is next. Stay tuned.